Good afternoon, morning, evening or night, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Jar Media Podcast, episode 250C.
Yeah, we thought we'd really make November special for the Jarlings and make every episode 250 for the month.
250 is a good number, I reckon.
Why?
It's
odd and even.
But what's odd about it and what's even about it?
Well, the 2's even and the 5's odd.
It's more even than odd, though.
No, because 0's even.
Yeah. Just before we get too far into what is odd and what is even in this episode, I'd just like to shout out the Jar Media patrons making this show possible in audio formats. And you get access to your names being read out at the start of every month by yours truly and the boys.
That's true.
And early videos when we're not dying of COVID, the flu, or
Ear infections. Lots of Jarlings left comments agreeing with you, by the way, saying about
Yeah. No, I saw.
How it's the most painful affliction you can.
It's actually unbelievable. And as I was just saying to you guys before we started, I'm kind of worried that it's permanently affected my hearing.
Is that a thing? It can be like permanent?
Well, I don't think so. Like I've asked, and the answer is like no, it's not a thing.
No, it's not a thing.
But you know, I'm different, dog.
I actually grew up. I spent most of my childhood in hospitals because I had chronic earaches. So
yeah, earaches are much more common in
yeah, I remember getting them as a kid a lot.
Yeah.
Mine was so bad I'd just be spending like weeks in the hospital because I couldn't function basically because I had earaches so bad.
Yeah, it's just pain to a level where like you actually can't do anything.
Yeah,
and you can't even sleep because it hurts so bad.
Yeah, it's terrible. Just cut your ears off.
I did consider it.
Man, let's clean up. Let's clean up some of those dingles lying around. Some of the mess from last episode that needs addressing.
I'm sure we left plenty.
Double Awesome Man can get us going here with a comment they left. Not sure if it was intentional or just something Spotify does now, but the swearing in the audio version is reversed in the latest episode. Was this a decision the Jar Boys made? As I'd be interested to know. Thanks, Mingers.
Yeah. Yes, by design.
So I'll comb through the first minute or two to see if there are any swears. Because like on YouTube they look for it in like the first few minutes. Yeah. So I'll either like just delete the audio or reverse it. So that's what you'll be hearing, a Double Awesome Man. And that solves that one. Unless you have anything to add, James?
It's always me swearing usually.
I'd say I'm easily equal, if not outnumbering you. I
completely disagree. Out of the foul mouths of Jar, I'm like the worst by a long margin.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. It's a really bad habit.
I don't consider you particularly a swearer, though.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I think of myself much more of a profanity user than you, James.
I disagree. Like, whenever you play games or anything, I'm just like, kill someone and I'm like screaming.
Well, it's different when playing a video game because like passions are high and
you get gamer rage.
Yeah, you get gamer rage. You sort of get tribal, like us versus them
mentality.
Mindset, yeah.
Not gamer rage.
Yeah, gamer rage.
You get gamer rage.
Me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because you're like, I've had a really bad session, I'm going to go order pizza.
Yeah, I get impatient when it's like an hour and it sucks. When it starts getting to that level.
Yeah.
That's my version of gamer rage, I suppose.
You don't gamer rage, you gamer pout.
Yeah.
I do both.
Have you ever thrown a controller?
Yep.
When I was younger, yeah.
GTA 5 yoga mission.
Really?
That one surprises me.
No, because I had a broken controller. The controller thumbstick had drift. You couldn't do the yoga mission because you had to.
So it was actually just broken.
Yeah,
so
it was
impossible.
It's the one reason I've never replayed that game because that yoga mission ruined my life.
Just straight up ruined your entire life.
Because obviously this was the time when it was like everyone was playing GTA and everyone wants to get through the story. to get it completed to ready for GTA Online, and I spent like 5 days unable to get past that fucking mission. It's miserable.
Einzige left one in response to James saying how easily he'd live in the 40s. James in the 40s stepping out of his house as bombs fall from the sky. Ah, what a beautiful day. Thoughts?
Bombs fell. They didn't fall in London, in America. Bombs weren't falling on America.
You're not American.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, in the hypothetical situation where I'd said I'd be able to live in the 40s, I was basing it in America, not London.
What are you talking about?
Drifting your muscle car around Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, precisely.
Bear Says Het left a comment in relation to how just finished Seth MacFarlane is with Family Guy, saying, I've seen interviews with Seth MacFarlane and it's really clear that he's done with Family Guy. He mentions in one interview with Jimmy Kimmel how it feels like an old family cat that should be put down, and it didn't feel like a joke. I genuinely think Seth wants out, but Fox or Disney will not let him. If Seth goes, then the show is basically over since he voices a massive chunk of the cast. It's possible that legally Seth can't leave, or maybe it's just he doesn't like the show but money is too strong.
I'd say it's that.
Yeah, because he's probably paying a
guess.
bunch of people's jobs, day jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
He just wants to keep that going. Yeah, I don't know.
The Family Guy trickle-down economic.
Man. Goku eats so many burgers left this one. I'm not the person who made the Sandy, but I do a lot of crochet, so it makes me really happy to see you guys appreciate the gift and sit with it and stuff. A lot of people dismiss the amount of time and effort that goes into gifts like that and don't treat them with much care, but Sandy seems loved already. Yeah, Sandy's already a crucial part of the set here.
Yeah.
Jim and I were appreciating the design the other day because we picked it up by the tail and it went popped. We figured, oh shit, we've broken Sandy.
Yeah.
But then upon closer examination, it's actually a purposefully made button.
It buttons to her tail buttons to the back of her head.
Yeah,
to keep,
it's all part of the design.
to keep the
It's
tail
perfect.
in proper form. Yeah, it's incredible.
Anna left this one saying, will you be doing another response to Big Mouth's new season? Obviously, James won't. And what you were saying to me earlier, Jim, is that maybe you'll be joining him. You can't.
Yeah,
take it
I don't. He can't keep getting away with this. I don't know if I can.
We're already past that. It's like season 5.
No, but that's what I mean. Is it actually season 5?
I think
Is
so.
it not 4?
Season 4.
It's got to be 4.
Really? Mr. Big Mouth expert over here?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if I can sit through it.
But why stop now?
Because the previous season was so bad.
What was it about that last season that just broke you? Like, in my mind, it's just one, fairly consistent blur of just the same thing.
No, I think it's gotten noticeably worse.
Really?
I think season 2 was the worst. But season 3, it was just like, wow, you're not even trying to improve.
But come Kumail.
Yeah, it's
There's
true.
so much good
It's true.
humour. The guy from Flight of the Conchords shows up. I've seen 6 or 7 episodes, I think. Maybe even 8. I've nearly finished it.
Look at Jamie, look into his eyes.
Should I try? Are you telling me I should?
Well, maybe it's not a full recommendation. But
I'm not going to say I'm definitely not, but I'm definitely leaning towards
I
not.
feel like we've had this exact conversation with previous seasons, so it's been like, nah, fuck that. But then just at that right time, that right moment of day,
all it takes is that first
once you click on that
step
thumbnail
into the first episode.
Yeah, Hormone Monster thumbnail smiling down at you. It's done.
I think you should, instead of... this is a good way to teach you yourself self-respect. Because when you look at that thumbnail, think how much you actually value your own life and your respect.
Think how much humour you're missing out on.
Absolutely none.
Okay. Controversial statement 1 of the episode.
There's more coming.
Damn, I'm getting excited now. He's in one of these kind of moods. Let's end this segment on this one from Ben Hughes. Can we get some Elden Ring chat next week?
Next week?
Well, okay, I guess you can wait then.
Have you seen any of the gameplay? Because
I watched that trailer they put out.
But they just recently did the network test, which is a demo. It's like an 8.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that. I didn't realize that.
There's like 8 hours of gameplay or something.
Oh shit.
That people have access to at like certain times.
Right.
I've watched a bunch of stuff on it, and fuck me. I think we should wait until next week, and you should watch like one video on it.
Okay.
The
I didn't realize so much.
Aren't very good. So I do not care about it.
I think I might actually have a question about it in the question segment in the second half.
Yeah, I'm
want
down.
to save it for then.
Yeah, I'm
top level thoughts.
I'm down for it. I don't want to be a hype propeller.
He is a hype propeller.
A hype beast.
I don't want to be a hype beast, but it's got the potential to be like the next Dark Souls 1 in that it pushes everything. It just influences video games in such a huge way.
I hope so. I'm hyped to see what it comes together as.
Yeah. It's masterpiece material. Whether it will be, who knows, but the building blocks that like what they're going for could be something really special.
Hell yeah. Well, speaking of things that are really special, I've got one little topic to throw out there before we go into James's one, I guess, that he's been hyping up for days and days.
It's barely even a subject, bro.
Well, I hope it's a pretty meaty subject. Because mine's only a small one. I found like a documentary on YouTube that was it was kind of like unusual animal friendships that had formed. And one of the ones in the video that was highlighted was this Irish couple that have a farm in in Ireland, and they bought some like ducklings that hatched, and then their like farm cat like got into where the duckling eggs were, and they figured, oh right, the ducklings are just fucked then, whatever. But it transpired that the eggs hatched just in enough time for the cat to also give birth to a litter of kittens while the ducklings are around. So then it's like natural hormones encourage the ducks to like be part of the litter. So then they stumbled across these ducks like drinking the cat milk, and they like pick the cat up, and there's like ducks.
Attached?
They described it as they were attached. They were latched.
God, that's gotta hurt.
But
it's like one thing for a sharp-toothed kitten to be suckling, but for a beak,
also extra out there behavior for an animal that isn't a mammal. I mean, it doesn't drink milk.
Psychologically, these ducks are going to be messed up.
And probably physically as well. Because if they're in cat milk.
But that's a question. I didn't know birds could suck. When do they ever suck? Why would they need the ability to suck?
I suppose, what's the difference between sucking and sort of filtering nutrients out of... That's what ducks do, right? They go like...
No, they bite. They bite and swallow. I guess swallowing
they like chew. When you feed them bread, they like...
Yeah, and birds always do that thing where they angle their neck up.
Like
they point their head towards the sky.
And
then just like...
No, they suck it down.
They don't suck
clearly.
It down. They
do.
chew it down.
We've discovered now, through this freak of nature, that ducks can suck.
Do you think YouTube will allow that title? Ducks can suck?
I reckon.
Well, it's not like it's just a
It's not
clickbait.
perverse in any
Yeah,
way.
it's the truth. It's an actual scientific fact.
All right, I'm glad you guys took my story at face value. So I figured you were gonna like push against it more and be like,
We
"Stop."
trust you. Why would we? Why would we call you
Well, I
up?
figured like I would be like, no, you're lying. If I heard that kind of description, because that's kind of wacky on a level where I'm like, come on, this.
I think
no,
that's because you underestimate life.
No, but one of the reasons I'm trusting you is because this isn't the first time you've told me
And me.
about this.
Really, so really, I told you, James, as well.
You said it while we were in a coffee shop 2 days ago.
Oh, was that when? Yeah.
So I've already brought.
So
it
it
up.
is real. Are you telling us now that it's a lie? Because now I'm not sure.
No, it's straight up real.
We're gonna have to fact check this, James.
It's a really good video.
I'm gonna have to watch the video.
One of them, it's actually a wacky video. One of them is it was a lion, a tiger, and a bear who had all been friends as children. So they just live like in a cage together as fully grown.
That is so weird.
Yeah, it's really freaking weird. So kind of a bizarre video, to be honest.
But going back to the ducks, isn't it a bird thing that like the first thing they see after hatching, like that's the mum?
Yeah. Yeah, they show footage of the like fully grown ducks, which following the cat that fostered them, I suppose.
What's the evolutionary advantage to that?
They always become adults.
What?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Well, if they see something and they choose that to be the mother or father or whatever, they're always going to grow up.
But hasn't something just straight up gone wrong if they're able to like
See a cat? No, it's like a
imprint
thing.
on a cat?
It's a thing though where like they can imprint on a robot.
And we can't. That's where we will be overthrown by the ducks.
Because they're going to make AIs that are our mothers?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that's all I can really get at. The duck drinking cat milk thing.
I think it's cool.
I just thought it was cool and important.
It's definitely important and...
Important enough to be put in a documentary.
Yeah, and also...
Was it an actual documentary, like a TV show documentary, or was it just a YouTube video?
I think it was like a BBC, like... You know, like a
BBC?
proper host and everything.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is it like Country File?
It is kind of disgusting though.
It's grim.
What I described to you.
It would be weird if it was even a dog drinking cat milk.
Actually, no, I would...
It's like a breach of mammalian
No, that seems a bit more
borders.
That seems more normal.
No, it's more normal than a bird.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a little bit more
But
normal.
I'm saying it's still weird.
Well, yeah, because
This is why I think it's weird that we drink cow milk.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
So you're saying we should finally just break down those doors and start drinking duck milk?
No,
Pigeon milk.
Or cat milk, I guess.
well, no,
Well,
because that's no
what
different.
is the difference?
Well, between cat milk and pigeon milk?
No, between dog milk and cow milk.
It's all milk at the end
I
of the
dunno, I
day.
haven't
Yeah,
tried
at the end of the
dog
day,
milk.
it's a mammal's milk. If you can access the milk,
No, but surely different mammals have different tasting milk. Like,
Yeah, it's like flavours. You can go to shops and get different flavours
yeah.
for your milk.
Instead of coffee shops, it should just be milk. You got like rat milk,
all the
cow
different
milk,
milk.
goat milk,
Come on,
sheep
what's a
milk,
mammal?
pig milk.
Platypus milk. That's the rarest one.
Platypus are mammals. They have beaks. Maybe it's not so weird. This is how platypus came to exist. This is clearly what happened.
No, you're thinking too deeply
Do
into
you think
it.
that's how it began?
In evolution,
a duck
some
drank-
birds imprinted onto a mammal, let's say a bear.
But how did it would have to breed for evolution to occur?
No, but it's got like a learned, evolved behavior. So then,
An evolved behavior.
what makes sense to me? Beavers, right? That's a mammal.
Beaver milk?
Yeah, like I feel like platypus and beavers are
They're just,
You know,
they're
they-
just
they
beavers
sort of-
with beaks.
Yeah, they exist in the same space. So maybe
What's like the milk economy? Like,
what's
is
the most valuable
rat
milk?
Rat milk's just like
Rat milk
dime a
is-
dozen.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
But
not
like-
though, because the amount of milk that's produced by a one wat is not enough. So you have to have a farm of so many wats to make the milk. So like the vat
That's
milk is
true,
quite
actually.
valuable because of the quantity.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rat milk is like the rum of
Mm.
milk.
What about like mole milk?
Mole milk. Mole milk is like absinthe.
Yeah, I remember that was so.
What about whale milk? They're mammals.
Whale milk. But pigeon milk is a thing, right?
It's a thing.
Yeah. They don't have like tits. But they create they create a something in their stomach. And then when they vomit into their baby's mouth, it's like milk.
That's gnarly.
Yeah,
So
but it's like the equivalent. So baby birds do consume milk in a form.
Stomach.
It's already
milk.
digested, like fucking.
Yeah, it's
vomit.
like it's vomit, milky, digested like worms.
worms and leaves or whatever birds eat.
Yeah. What do ducks eat though?
Bread.
Yeah, all
But
they eat is
I thought they
bread.
say you're not supposed to give them bread because they get swollen.
No, that's bicarbonate soda.
No, spread is.
Yeah, I thought
No,
it was bread.
no, I
I'm not
think that's a
supposed to give
myth.
pigeons.
No, it's a
bread.
myth. I think the bread thing is a myth that's been like posted around on Facebook. Like, don't feed bread to ducks because they like swell up. But I think that's a myth.
They swell up.
Yeah, that's what I always heard, that they just got swollen.
What if ducks didn't look like what ducks look like? And they only do because
Yeah, we
people
just
are
made
always
them
feeding
swollen.
them bread.
Yeah, they're just
They're
swollen.
actually really slender.
What would be like a bird even weirder than ducks to see drinking the milk of a mammal?
Like a vulture.
Like an eagle.
Vultures are the weirdest birds.
No, those ones in Mongolia. The Mongolian sky burial birds.
Like buzzards or something.
No, I don't
Those
know.
are vultures, right?
They're not vultures. They have a different name. They have a different name. Them drinking catty milk.
What about like
Catty milk.
like this is like fucked up imagery.
Oh
like,
shit! I've remembered the Kitty Cat Club.
Imagine like 6 ostriches like drinking
Oh.
cow milk.
Oh, cow. Yeah. Like fully grown ostriches. Yeah. No, what about... Nah, I'm not even going to go there. No, I'm not going there. Yeah. But yeah, birds like milk, I guess. Maybe this
they
is
shouldn't.
proof.
That's the problem here.
No, maybe this is proof that we should consume milk
Yeah.
as humans.
What-
Like if
Why is that so funny to me when I've literally had milk today? I've consumed milk today.
Boy, really? The fuck?
What?
have you not?
I have milk in my coffee.
Yeah, that's what I've had.
I didn't have a choice though.
Yeah, you did.
You always have a choice.
No, it's just like no, because my problem with milk is I don't like milk. If I drink milk, I vomit. Like there's no in between.
Like a pigeon.
Like a pigeon. But like the milk alternatives are all awful. So I need like a new milk.
Coconut milk.
No, I can't drink coconut milk because it's disgusting. So there needs to be a new milk. And clearly,
Soy?
Human.
yeah, human milk.
Is human milk vegan?
Well, yes,
If it's
human.
volunteered milk.
If it's volunteered.
Yeah,
if they've,
because
like,
that's...
if they've Squid Game signed away their like, you know.
No, I'm thinking less Squid Game, more just like donating milk.
But the milk is made from their body.
Yeah, but they have given permission for it to be consumed. That's the vegan thing, right? Like, you can't eat something that... You shouldn't...
They can't consent, so
Yeah,
like,
consume
if it was
something
a cow
they
that
can't
was
consent.
like, no, I'm
Yeah.
fine with it, then they'd be fine with it.
Yeah, so we need to develop a way of communicating with cows.
Or
No,
just-
we need to just genetically evolve them so they're able to say that one sentence.
That's what they're not working in the labs. They're not making like meat substitutes.
All that effort and money and time.
They're making animals that can only consent.
Yeah. We'll treat those nasty vegans one way or another.
Fuck.
James, what is it? What is this
what
topic?
you on about?
My subject isn't going to be interesting like that. You can't have a subject like that goes on like that and then be like, James, what's your discussion? Because it's always going to be disappointing.
What do you mean? I wasn't planning for it to evolve into emus drinking cow milk or whatever.
Emus, yeah.
You said ostriches.
What's the difference, you know? They both drink cow milk at the end of the day.
The only thing I'm going to talk about is I finally watched something that I've wanted to watch for a while.
Yeah.
I watched a movie. I watched Apocalypse Now.
Okay.
And I find that movie quite strange in that I don't understand what it's actually trying to do.
Have you seen it, Alex?
Yeah, I've seen Apocalypse Now.
I've not.
It's been a while.
What did you watch it on, by the way?
This is the second half of the question. Movies are the most anti-consumer fucking medium there is. So what I did was, I got the house to myself. What do you do? There's only one way to watch movies on a TV with surround sound. So I go into the lounge or whatever. So I go on my Sky, because my parents have a shitty Sky box, £100 a month, boom. So I go there, search it, Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now pops up, director's cut. To rent, £3.50. No, I can't. It's my parents' Skybox. I can't just rent it on that. So what do? I try and find an alternative. So I Google it. Then it pops up first thing. Is it on Netflix? Oh yeah, it's on Netflix. So I go on Netflix. It's not on Netflix because it's only in America.
Oh.
On a TV, can't get a VPN. That Netflix is fucking gone. Okay, then. So next option, Amazon Prime. So I open the Amazon Prime app, which is the worst fucking TV app you'll ever fucking use. It's shit.
It's really bad.
So I search it with the really old, like, out-of-date mouse keyboard thing, and then I find it. Oh, it's not available on this Amazon. Oh, the director's cut is. Got to rent it, £4. And, my Amazon account's not linked to my TV, so Amazon's out the picture. So I'm like, okay, go on YouTube. Obviously, YouTube you can rent movies on. So I search Apocalypse Now. I find it, and it's on my phone. I just I rent it. I rent the HD director's cut, £3.50. Fine with that because it's YouTube. It'll work. So then I want to watch it on my TV. So I go on the video, and then I press stream to the TV. Error message: can't be viewed on this device.
Oh no!
So I've already paid for it. I'm sitting there like at this point, I purchased it. So I went downstairs, I put my pasta in the microwave, got my bedding, set up in the lounge, was about to sit down and eat the pasta, comfy and shit. Got the error message. So I had to walk downstairs to my PC and then had to watch the movie on my PC with headphones.
Damn.
That is very
And that is that's a 2 out of 10 experience compared to a proper nice on the sofa experience. So that's how I eventually watched Apocalypse Now. I don't understand why there's so much bullshit with all of these different streaming services. It's like fucking Xbox versus PlayStation level shit. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nightmare trying to organise it, just try and find where things are, where things aren't.
Yeah, it's super frustrating, and especially when it's a movie like a movie I really want to watch again because it's... I've always loved it, Brazil. It's like, where can I even find this?
Yeah.
Or Pink Floyd's The Wall. It's like you just can't gain access to a good quality way of watching it.
And it's like, I don't watch movies often, you know this. I'm never involved in anything movie related because I just don't watch it. And it's like, I've wanted to watch Apocalypse Now for ages.
Yeah.
And I finally made the effort, and it's like, this is the exact reason why I don't watch movies, is this fucking jumping around dot to dot to try to watch a movie.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and I got, it was the 4K HD one, looked fucking gorgeous. That movie visually is one of the best pieces of movie I've ever seen in terms of what Francis Ford does visually. I just find it a very strange movie in what it is, and what it's adapting, and what its actually message it's trying to do.
Do you think it's good?
It's a fucking 10 out of 10 movie. I loved it. It was a director's cut, and this is another
thing. I don't think I've ever seen the director's cut, because I was going to say there are a few different cuts. I'm not sure what the supreme one is.
That's because I've watched videos before and like analysing it, because it's a movie I'm fascinated with, and then I could only find the director's cut, and I didn't want to watch the director's cut because I know that when you want to watch a movie like this, you want to watch the original, how it was back in the 80s. Yeah. So there's a lot of scenes in this that didn't make sense to me because they were director's cut stuff. So it kind of made me just a bit difficult to actually understand what they're going for with this movie. And I think one of the reasons why this movie's because I've played Spec Ops: The Line, and that does that the whole subject of the Heart of Darkness, Apocalypse Now is done better in Spec Ops: The Line, and I think that's because I played it first.
Right.
But I think the movie is absolutely incredible. But it just feels like it's almost a little bit too much propaganda. I know that might not make sense in terms of how they're portraying the Vietnam conflict. I don't think...
In favour of who?
The Americans.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a critique of the conflict and painting
It was, but... Because it's trying to delve into like the, Captain Kurt, and how... That basically just the story of the Heart of Darkness.
Yeah.
But it's like... putting that like the Heart of Darkness is about like it's very character focused. It's not, this adaptation is trying to put it in a war like the Vietnam War, where the real Vietnam War was that every like American like commander in Vietnam in the real Vietnam was Kurt. So I just, it's not portraying the Vietnam War as the Vietnam War actually was, and I just kind of struggle with that. And that might just be me, but it's like it's a kind of severely unrealistic portrayal of Vietnam, to like sacrificing it for this really narrative, character-driven like story with Kurt and Willard.
Okay.
And it's just because
I wasn't prepared to talk about this movie. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah,
I didn't realise you'd jumped into it.
I did. It's just because it's always on my mind, and I just had the time, and because I'm just fascinated with the whole story of the Heart of Darkness. I could be missing something because I still need to read the book, but I just found with it being portrayed in the Vietnam was a bit strange.
What is the Heart of Darkness for those that are not educated?
How do I explain that book?
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it without you
knowing.
Yeah, without you knowing.
Yeah,
that's why it needs.
It's explaining. It's going into how like violence can destroy someone, and it can change them. In simple terms, I know there's more to it than that, but in very simple terms, it's like how human nature changes.
But is it a piece of fiction? Is it like a philosophy?
No, it is fiction, and it's based in the Congo. So
it's a story,
yeah,
right?
It's a novella. So I think the exact term, and it is the original book is based in like the Belgium wall in Congo, and how King Leopold basically had his own state, and he abused and was basically tortured and did a whole load of basic things, and it's just about his boat journey to this person who's basically gone insane. The movie basically is a direct adaptation of the book. But I think it's just because I know a lot about Vietnam that I find it weird that the way it's being portrayed in Vietnam. Because Vietnam...
Do you have like an example of something that in that adaptation was like lost? About one of those details in the Vietnam War you'd expect to see or something that...
No, I can't think of any off the top of my head. I just think the real Vietnam War is a very, very, very dark war. And I think with these movies, when they're portraying this stuff, it's like... Everything about
the movie, though, isn't it?
It's insanely dark, but everything the movie portrays as dark is the real war every single month, and I think that's what it's getting wrong, because it's like there's no difference between Kurt in the movie and the Americans at the start of the movie. They're the same person in the real world, because that's how bad Vietnam was, and I think I may be just looking too historically into it. But one of the director's scenes was the whole French, where basically it's a whole part of the movie where the French are still in Vietnam, and I just found that interesting because it's
I've got no memories of that.
It's referencing the genuine French war in Vietnam, because the French were like Kurt, and it's just some dialogue that actually kind of works towards that. But basically, it's one of the best movies I've seen. Visually, it's absolutely incredible. 3 hours, and this is another thing I can say. We've watched Eternals, and one of the criticisms we had of that movie was it felt too long. This movie, Apocalypse Now, director's cut, felt unbelievably long, but it worked in its favour because it's the journey to, the final. Because it's like Marlon Brando and Curtis in the last 20 minutes, half hour. But you spend so much time getting to that point that it feeling long works completely in its advantage.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
Yeah, I've always wanted to, but like you, I've got so many subscriptions to so many streaming services, and when I can't access a movie for free,
you don't
quote
even
unquote, I will watch a different movie.
Yeah, no, but I feel that this movie is so big, it's so culturally like iconic.
Yeah, it's just one of those movies that I've been meaning to watch forever, but
yeah, and you would have absorbed a lot of it through osmosis anyway.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised how many scenes you already know.
Yeah, the only big Vietnam movie I've seen
is Platoon.
Platoon, yeah,
which is another one.
I haven't seen Platoon.
Yeah, that movie blew me away.
Yeah,
doesn't that have Charlie Sheen in it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Martin Sheen is in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to watch it. Like, no, you need to watch it. It's a
Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket.
I'm a big Full Metal Jacket fan.
I think I preferred Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
But I think that I just need to watch The Deer Hunter and Platoon, and that's the Vietnam
the Deer
movies.
Hunter as well, of course.
But it's definitely worth watching. I think if you've never played or read anything about The Heart of Darkness, it's the best way to kind of consume that book, that novel. But I just think...
Yeah. Well, remind me, and I'll try and watch it before the next episode, and then we can have a...
Well, because on YouTube you get 48 hours. So I could give you my account if you could watch it tomorrow. I could give you my account, and you can watch it.
I got plenty of time next week. Because I might rent it on Amazon, to be honest.
I'd personally say YouTube because it's quite easy. But yeah, no, I actually saw I think it was the original footage from the original movie, and the difference between the 4K one and the original is like, holy fucking shit. There's a whole... If you're going to watch it, watch the 4K one. Don't watch the original, just watch the 4K one, because visually, it's such a visually impressive movie. You might as well just watch the best definition for it. And you should also play Spec Ops The Line as well. So I know we've talked about that on Job before.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a ship that sailed for me, because
it's like gameplay really old.
Gameplay old, and I've watched so many like
videos on it.
Videos that just go into detail about all that stuff.
And I just think that's the best book. That's the best adaptation of that book, personally. I love Spec Ops The Line, and I love Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, I've had it on my wish list for a long time.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, it's great. I just want to watch just more movies like that. Yeah, because it's just like...
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't gone through the Vietnam movies before, given your
that's
history.
weird. Because I've always, like, even when I was a young kid, it was just like, James loves war stuff.
And then it's true.
And it's like, I never watched any of these movies, and now it's like, I like them for the actual kind of meaning behind them. What they're actually critiquing. More so than... Because that's the thing with Apocalypse Now, is like the whole start of that movie is just bombastic American, helicopters attacking and all that shit. Yeah. But I think that works in its advantage, because it's like the people who watch it, I don't think a lot of people probably realise what it's actually trying to do. So at the first, they were like, yes, American Ride of the Valkyries, on that scene, incredible. But it's like, that's why there's the whole story has a meaning.
Yeah. It's like that movie Starship Troopers, like watching it as a kid, and you're just like taking it
face value.
You're just into the bug fighting scene. And all that. But then watching it as an adult, it's got a bit of a different tinge. Anything else before we go to these messages?
No.
Okay, let's go to these messages.
Life can be a dick sometimes, so get your dick from out your hand. And don't be a dick, wear a dick. Dick the Head t-shirts available now. Check the description below.
Address it as in it's just destroyed.
As in it's fucking broken to the ground.
It's stupid.
It's not stupid.
There's welcome to the second half of the show, where we head over to Patreon and answer some Reddit and we answer some questions. Firstly, we're going to talk about food. So we have this routine where every time we record, we normally get a meal or takeaway or whatever, whatever you want. Okay, and the system we've had in place is that we have a rota, and that one of us chooses each time. And this is the single worst thing we've ever had. It's an absolute dictatorship, and it's ridiculous.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's a dictatorship.
Talking shit right now.
He's talking the barest of shit.
Jarlings, okay.
Every week, one of us chooses the meal. It's the literal opposite of a dictatorship.
No, because
there are 3 people.
It is a dictatorship. Do you know why? Because if I don't want it, it causes absolute chaos. And it's like there's no agreement. Everything falls apart if I don't want it. It's like I don't have a choice in actually not having this thing. I've got to have it. That's forcing your...
No, you never said this.
This is what's been said. This is what's happened.
No, you never said...
You never... Yeah, you never said... So, what happened today? Let's just fucking go in, shall we?
Yeah, go in then.
Shall we fucking go in?
Go into the behind-the-scenes drama, it's fine.
Yeah, here we go. So... Was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
No, it was 2 days. It was 2 days ago.
2 days ago, I decided what I wanted to eat because it's my decision.
2 days
because I already forfeited my decision from the previous week because you guys wanted something that I didn't. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna let it slide.
You're not explaining. You're not explaining. 2 days ago, we recorded a whole bunch of jar videos. They are in the pipeline. And then we finished. It was quite late. It was like 7 or 8 o'clock. It's quite late. We were a bit hungry. So we go downstairs and then we're like, oh, should we get some food? And then Jamie says, I fancy Chinese. So at that time, we couldn't actually agree on eating on that day. So we said, okay, we will get the Chinese when we record jar, okay? So we all go our separate ways. We head home. All is good. I get home. Do you know what I walk into? I walk into Chinese. The Chinese is still in my fridge at home. Okay? So you
went in and ate it.
So you went in and ate it knowing that I wanted Chinese 2 days later so that you could then complain that I wanted Chinese 2 days later when you knew that I wanted Chinese 2 days later.
I had no choice. My mum
You had choice. You had choice. No. You're a totally independent individual that has the capacity to go out and get food for yourself. Is this not true? Is this true or is it not true?
It's true. It's true. But the food was there.
I rest my case.
My mum bought it and I was going to eat it. Chicken balls and rice, easy. I was just going to eat it, okay? So now we get to today where Jamie wanted Chinese, okay? Jamie was working, so the plan was that we'd order and then I'd pick up on the way here, okay? Now, I didn't want...
Simple enough.
I didn't want the
Beautiful
Chinese.
Plan. Beautiful plan.
I didn't want the Chinese.
Because 2 days before, you had chosen, Chinese. Fully knowing that I wanted Chinese, to eat Chinese.
Yeah, sure. Okay, that is absolutely true. Not going to deny that. So, why didn't you two get Chinese?
Because
the whole plan was set on you picking it up. Right?
I would have still picked it up if you wanted it. I didn't say...
No, you never said you didn't want it.
You were throwing spanners in the works.
I was throwing spanners in the works because I said I wanted to chill with Alex before we did the cast, which wouldn't line up with me getting it.
But would you have got it?
Yes. There was no problem with me getting it. I would have got it.
Then why did you never say you didn't want it? You never said I don't want it.
Because if you generally wanted it, I would have eaten it.
I literally put in I sent you a message
With the
saying
order.
my order, saying what
And
I wanted.
Alex never said his order. If Alex said
Yeah,
his
because
order...
I already knew, like, it's not happening.
Exactly. So why is it that me not being a bit spacey on it means that you two's plans fall apart?
Because
you didn't say what you were doing. If
Yeah.
you said I'm eating something else, then Alex and I could have sorted it. But there was no communication. The only thing, the only constant was me. I said what I wanted.
And me, I was trying to get
put
down
the
to
hours
matter.
in.
I was trying to get down to the just equilibrium on it.
So
you know?
this is where it shouldn't have fallen apart because you two should have just said,
No,
yeah,
but
we're getting Chinese
No, but
anyway.
what we
It
ended up
didn't have to
doing
fall
was
apart.
talking amongst ourselves and sorting out food for ourselves because things just didn't work out. Things.
So
like,
then you
what-
basically guilted me into ruining the food for the evening.
What do you mean?
What are
You guilted
fucking
us.
talking-
You forced us to have to go fucking underground and go to goddamn Tesco and get some trash from there.
And I had to eat the same trash because it was in my fridge. But this is only an example of the Jar Media food crisis. This has been a recurring issue for literally 2+ years because it's my turn next week, and right now I'm going to tell you what I want.
No, it's not your turn next
No,
week
it's
because
what-
it's done. The rota's finished.
Good. Did you know what I was going to say?
Today was the last.
Oh no!
straw.
I was going to give you such a good example of the rota falling apart. Next week we were going to get charcoal grilled pizzas, and you two.
No. That is not how the rota works, though.
Yeah.
You don't get to say, "Oh, we're getting McDonald's," but you're only allowed McDonald's breakfast. It's like no, we go somewhere or we order from somewhere and we each choose what we want.
Exactly.
So if you chose a shit kebab place, then I guess that's what we're getting. And I've always been down with that.
That's wrong.
And let's just
I
talk
chose the
about. Did
perfect
we
time
talk about
to-
the time James fucked us? Just totally went out and
That
fucked
was
us.
what truly.
No,
broke.
no.
This is what truly broke the
no,
I don't know why James
no. It was my choice, okay? It was my choice, and I said we're getting shitty kebabs from the shitty kebab place, and these two had a fit. So what I did, I was an independent thinker. I did my own thing, and I ordered for myself.
That is the biggest dick move. The biggest dick move.
You
Even the delivery man, because Alex and I ended up ordering from the same place, commented on how much of a dick move that was.
It was a dick move, but we sat downstairs for so long trying to organise food when it was my choice. I was like, we're getting a kebab. And then you're like,
No,
but
you two were
but
just
that's only 'cause
being
you
shady.
wouldn't order it.
Yeah, you would refuse to order it. And then when you finally do order something, it's just for you. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. So
And then
it is.
the rota fell apart.
This is it. This is the end of an era.
No. In that situation, I didn't order for you because none of you just decided to put. None of you picked what you're gonna have, and none of you paid
But
me
you didn't
for it.
even tell us that you'd ordered it or were ordering something until you had already ordered it.
At the time I was ordering it, you literally said to Alex, like, "Okay, then we'll just get pizza then." And that's when I was like, "Okay, I'm putting this order through."
No, there's levels to this that you're hiding. You're hiding levels to this.
The jar rota for food has been a mess since the
No,
Curry
I was
episode.
about to
The
say,
Curry
it's
There have
episode.
been so many weeks where it's just been like, right, Alex, what are you having? Or what are we having?
Mhm.
And it's been like, well,
No, but
we're having this.
that doesn't work. Do you know why? Because we are 3 different individuals. We all have different. We could have a specific mood on any of the days we do. That's
yeah, and that's
3
why
moods.
we're
that's
always
3
going to
moods.
have we're always going to have a specific mood, right?
Exactly. I could be moody. You could be happy. Alex could be hyperactive.
Exactly.
You know?
So that's why we
Which
equally
means-
get the same. It's not Jamie, James, Alex. It's Jamie, James, Alex. Jamie, James, Alex.
So, but if you pick something, I might not want that something. That's what I'm saying.
No, but
that's where the problem
if-
lies.
That's why we created the rota in the first place, was to stop that debate.
No,
'Cause
but
that's what was stopping us ordering the first time.
No, but that's the
'Cause we could
problem.
never decide.
That's the problem. Was exemplified this today because you wanted Chinese. I had Chinese. I'm not going to want Chinese.
You ate Chinese after you knew that I wanted
It
Chinese.
wasn't my choice.
And then didn't update us on your updated plan.
That wasn't my
your choice.
I didn't buy it.
That doesn't matter.
You
could have eaten anything else. You could have cooked yourself something. You could have gone to Tesco Express and purchased a
So
ready-made.
forgetting this situation, if Alex chooses something and I don't want to eat it, and I'm not in the mood for it because, there's 3 different people, 3 different moods. If I'm not in the mood for what Alex wants...
but let's say we're a group of friends that say, all right, let's go to this restaurant on this date next month. And we go, and then one of the guys is just like, nah, I'm not in the mood for this. We're going somewhere else. That's not how it fucking works. That is not how it works.
The difference there is that going out is like pre-planned, like a week in advance. So you get excited for it no matter what.
I think a 2-day advance warning, specifically on this one where it fell apart. When this is one that should not have fell apart. It should have fallen apart the day you ordered a kebab and didn't consider to order us a kebab.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
No, because you can't use an actual going to a restaurant differently, because you wanted a Chinese, but you wanted Chinese from this specific place that doesn't deliver, when we could have ordered a Chinese from a place that could have delivered.
We talked about this. We said we could get Chinese delivered, but the place that delivers isn't good. The place that doesn't deliver is good. So we're going to have to do it old school and call them up and go there.
Old school.
That's right. It should be a rule in jar that if you can't order online,
that is a terrible rule for this location.
That's not a terrible rule.
Where we can get... It's 60% kebabs, 20%
curry,
or 10% curry, 10% Chinese, and then 20% pizza.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing is with this is that since COVID, we don't leave the house on jar days. We don't go to Swindon anymore when they have all of the variety. I don't know why we're like this. Why have we just fallen off from going to Swindon and getting a Nando's, Wagamama's, Five Guys?
Because I don't want to drive to Swindon.
Yeah, I don't either.
Well, I will drive to Swindon. Just give me your car to drive in.
But also, when a day like today, when I'm not
it's
available,
impossible. Yeah, it's impossible to do that.
8,
This has fallen apart because we've limited ourselves to takeaways and stuff in CALNE. We could, for so long, have gone. When was the last time we had like a Wagamama's or a Nando's? You've been limiting yourself to the takeaways in our town.
Like a Chinese. And when is the last time we had a Chinese? Last time I remember.
2 days ago.
I feel like, personally...
No, I'm just shocked James is the one that wanted to talk about this on the cast, because he's so wrong.
He fully knows that he's in the wrong. He fully knows that he's broken a truce. Years old at this point.
It's not years old. It's been like it's under a year.
It's not under a year.
I feel like this has been going for a while.
I don't think
and
so.
Things were going strong and smooth.
Yeah, that was pre-COVID when we went to Swindon.
There were humps. There were moments of.
Oh no! Okay, no.
Doubt.
No. Pull up your Word document, bro. Pull your fucking Word document up.
Of what?
Pull out a new page. We're making fucking rules for this shit. We're making the testament.
There were rules, and the rules were betrayed.
The rules were never written down.
Rules from you mean nothing, my friend.
Yeah.
Rules
They
from
do.
you. Rules to you.
You're forgetting something else, okay? Which is the rule, the golden rule that if you want it, you've got to go get it. There's been times when it's been like, I want a Nando's. Oh, I'm not driving to Nando's. Oh, I'm not driving either. Then if we don't get Nando's, I don't get my choice because nobody wants to drive.
Well, in that case, you should have driven.
Yeah, in my mind...
So there should be a golden rule. If it's your day, it's your choice. You've got to get it no matter what. Then there's never an issue. If you want the Chinese...
That's already what it was.
It wasn't though.
No, it was though.
Why am I picking up your Chinese today then?
Because this was a specific example where it would have saved us.
and it just made sense. It made the most sense.
Do you know what made sense?
Yeah, it actually made so much fucking sense. It would have been the most beautiful thing. Can you imagine me just rocking up and there's Chinese on the table? Fuck me.
Okay. So if this
Steaming
rotor's
hot.
gone, then what's the new system? Because
There is no new system. It's pure chaos now.
Yeah, now we're just back to chaos because I actually can't deal with the system anymore. It's
No,
too
the
much
system.
stress.
The system drives me insane.
It drives me
The
insane.
system is too much.
So what? So now it's just a case of we're free for. We do our own shit every week.
Yeah, but there can be cabals.
So what you're saying is we do what we want until we all agree on one thing we all want. The system how it should have been in the fucking first place.
No, that is a worse system.
because we.
Then
we
what is this
all
cabal you on
No,
about?
because like this last one was a great example because it was agreed.
It was no.
it was agreed
there was
that
no
one
wars,
person
though.
would get the ultimate decision once a week.
Dictatorship.
That's not a dictatorship.
It's a
We agreed.
dictatorship.
Well, if it is a dictatorship, then it's a totally fair dictatorship because we all get a turn at being the dictator in equal amounts of time over an equal amount of space.
Until you veto my choice and we veto your choice, and that happens a
No,
lot.
the veto was a non-entity only applied in very specific scenarios.
Yeah, I don't remember ever whipping out the veto fully.
We've had vetoes.
No, you're talking about vetoes on a different level.
Cheers.
I'm not going into that because the veto is irrelevant to the trio of us.
What needs to happen is we need to open our horizons yet again and embrace new foods and do new things instead of relying on the kebabs and the pizzas in our town. Because then we will actually be looking forward to something for the next week. I'll be sitting...
Yeah, looking forward to Nando's again, or looking forward to a different burger place. Awesome, bro.
Well, it's no different from looking forward to the same Domino's pizza we've had so many times in the last few months. Is this... Am I wrong? Am I wrong here?
Straight up, yes.
Things were smooth, man. Why you gotta rock the boat?
I didn't rock the boat.
You rock the fucking
So
boat,
if it's
man.
my choice next week, what
Tip
do we
the boat,
want?
bro.
Yeah, fucking.
The boat's down
boat's
with the
in
Titanic.
pieces.
Well, I'm going to tell you next week, by myself, I'm probably going to get a curry. So if you want a curry, we can make an agreement now.
Nah, curry's too expensive.
Boom, there you go. That it can't work. Jar Media can't work. You don't see this. Behind the scenes, we're fractured. Jar Media's like one bad curry away from falling apart.
Hashtag fractured. One curry episode away from just
Yeah.
spiraling.
I'd say we have three, like, the 3 strike rule. We have 3 curry episodes. We're 1 down, we're 2 left. And this one's a fucking
Does this
runner
not
up,
count?
that's for sure.
Yeah, this is-
surely this counts.
Jesus
No, this
Christ.
counts.
Why the fuck did you actually bring it up then?
Yeah, why did you bring it up? You know you're in the wrong, right?
Yeah, of course. That's our point.
Okay. Look, let's do this one for you then, James. Going
Yes.
to the questions. Naruleth has this to say. Are there any races that James genuinely hates? He's spoken a lot about street racing and NASCAR, but are there any races he would never watch or participate in?
This is a really badly worded question.
What's your least favourite race, James?
I'm not answering this question.
What? NASCAR?
Well,
Yeah. Okay. Jonathan SVG11 says, on the subject of Jar predicting random shit, Jim predicted Resident Evil Village and Lady... Was it Dimitrescu?
Dimitrescu.
Back in March of 2017. In
What?
JARCast 58, Triple Treble Telephone, at the 47-minute mark, Alex refers to James as the JARCast's resident MILF hunter. Jim responds, is that the sequel to Resident Evil 7? Resident Evil 8 MILF Hunter? Thoughts?
okay, that's yeah. Yeah, that's kind of true and kind of not true.
That's like...
There's more to the MILF in Resident Evil Village. Yeah, there's more than the MILF.
No, there's less to... Yeah.
There's more.
Yeah,
There's
there
a
is
lot
more than the MILF.
Yes.
Not there is more to the MILF.
No.
There's less to the MILF, if anything.
Yeah.
But
that is quite good.
yeah, I'm glad that that's a thing, but I don't know, that's a bit graspy to me. I'm not going to give myself credit there.
Yeah, that's not one that has me going like, oh, that's like Dogecoin levels of wow.
Yeah.
We predicted the evil meme, but that's about it.
Did we predict the evil meme?
We straight up predicted it, bro.
I don't think
Shut
reversing...
No, we did. Shut up.
PegFan2 says, hey Jar, and this might be one of the worst hypotheticals we've ever been given.
Cool.
Hey Jar, I'd like to hear your guys' take on possibly the best hypothetical question of all time. How would life evolve in an infinite McDonald's? Let's say some guy... Let's say some guys in the future made a dimension where it's just an infinite McDonald's. And they just throw 10 million of every animal on Earth into there.
What?
How would life evolve there?
What is an infinite McDonald's? Like, what am I picturing?
Yeah, is it infinite space or infinite
Please,
time?
let me finish.
Sorry.
Would it be a place dominated by invertebrates?
That's the end.
Yeah, that was the
Is it a world that is just full of McDonald's, or is it just a huge McDonald's?
Yeah, a huge McDonald's, right?
How would life evolve in an infinite McDonald's?
Yeah, that's specific. That's a building.
Inside of an infinite McDonald's.
It would just be empty space then. If it's that big, if it's infinite, it'd just be
That's
empty
true.
space.
Unless it's like every wall just extends forever. Yeah.
No, it's a McDonald's building, but they've placed them in such a way where they all connect and that's it. It's like a maze
Or is it
of
a thing where,
McDonald's.
yeah, like every time you open a door,
It's
you go
into
into a
a
different McDonald's.
Yeah, it's that. There's no bed.
So they're putting infinite of every animal in there.
Okay, I think
I
I understand what they're saying now then.
Would it be ruled by invertebrates? Yes. No.
Yeah,
no.
surely.
No, it'll be ruled by vertebrates.
Yeah, vertebrates, not invertebrates.
Yeah. Things with bones.
Yeah,
They tend to win, right? And there's plenty of like McDonald's milk around, I guess.
Yeah, what
Strong
creature's
bones.
how's it really gonna impact evolution? Like how is a slug gonna evolve differently if you put it through the infinite McDonald's?
Everything would become lazy. Like, are these infinite McDonald's or this infinite McDonald's infinitely producing food?
I don't know.
If
it's kind of a flawed hypothetical.
If it has infinite food, then everything's just going to be like
Fat.
a sludge like ball that just consumes.
So just a slug.
Well, yeah, it would have no reason to ever put any effort into hunting or anything physical because the food would just be presented to it.
I think
unless it needs to earn money by working at McDonald's.
I think all life would come to an end.
I think all life would become just McDonald's employees. Just regular
serving themselves,
yeah, serving other ones that venture into the other infinite McDonald's.
No, I think everything would die. Because imagine living an existence where you were in a McDonald's and you couldn't escape.
And it's all you could eat for all time.
Yeah. Everything would cease existing.
Unless it created like an army of super evolved, like genetically enhanced creatures, super slugs.
What? No, the actual...
Why would it though?
You don't know what kind of chemicals they're pumping into those nugs, you know?
What should be the question is what would happen if these super genetic infinite McDonald's animals were then transported to Earth? Because they're going to be addicted to McDonald's.
They have been, and they're just the people that work at McDonald's. No shade.
Do you think a duck would evolve into
yeah,
the
a duck would
milk?
start drinking milk just all the time.
Going back to what we said earlier, this one from Grave Walker. With the Elden Ring gameplay preview shown, do you guys have any thoughts and opinions? I thought the gameplay shown looks great, but I was kind of let down by so many recycled animations from Dark Souls 3. I know it isn't a big deal, but having new animations for games is a great way to keep games from becoming too samey. But what are your guys' opinions on developers recycling assets from older games? And for James, the Call of Duty follower himself, any thoughts on Vanguard?
We literally talked about this same thing when we said about the animation in the new God of War being the same fucking animation as the last one. Why spend time reanimating things you don't need to when you can spend that time making new content for the game?
Was that when it was just me and James?
No, I was definitely.
no.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with James, because this is such a big step for FromSoft to make this like mixing pot of everything they've made so far and just dumping it in an open world. I would way prefer for them to focus on making that open world valuable and not some Ubisoft trash where you're just doing the same shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Focus, because honestly, there's just a few things that it looks like they've done that you can do to make Dark Souls 3 combat better. Like it's pretty much there. It's as good as it can get.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with it. And there are subtle changes if you're like dorky enough to seek that shit out.
Yeah.
Where it's like all it is just slight improvements and additions to what they already had.
And it's not like the attack animations were a standout bad thing in these games. They generally look fine. They look good. So.
Yeah, they just improved where it needed improving. And kept what was good. I'm fine with that.
And James, anything on Vanguard?
No.
I've heard nothing but kind of bad things, to be honest.
Is it out?
It's out. Came out
I think
a few
it's
days ago.
out.
Wow.
On the 8th. Call of Duty's kind of dead in my books after the absolutely abysmal Black Ops like PC fucking port when that was out. Like, and Warzone, Call of Duty's is dead until Modern Warfare 2 comes out.
Yeah, which is next year.
Yeah, so I've got until then. But Vanguard, it's like the whole World War II like setting is.
Yeah, it seems tired, doesn't it?
It does.
The way they're dealing with it.
I haven't heard anything about it. It could be great, but I'm not going to be playing it.
Let's do 3 more here. Sam Heard It says, boys, I genuinely believe that James has never said anything as mental about food as when Jamie said that he never eats eggs with tomato ketchup. So here's my simple question. What is a worse take? Anything that James has ever said about food, or the fact Jamie doesn't eat eggs with ketchup? People are really hung up on this.
Are you fucking kidding
eggs
me?
ketchup thing.
I've never said any controversial takes regarding food. Ever.
That's a controversial take. No. That is not fucking controversial.
The egg thing.
Are you saying you don't eat eggs with ketchup?
Fried egg. Then what? How do you consume said egg?
I put it on a bit of
some
bread.
or something.
Yeah, and then cut it up.
What, with ketchup?
No.
Yeah.
Does James? Do you hate ketchup with egg?
Yeah, I think it's wrong. I think it's fucked up. I think it's...
So you have no sauce with egg at all?
Okay.
No, sriracha.
See, this
Very
is a
nice.
different... This is where we get into my weird thing. When something has sauce already, you don't add sauce. You don't add ketchup to a curry. You don't add ketchup to baked beans. The yolk has got all that yummy sauce there. So why would you add sauce to that? It
Also,
ruins the taste.
Sauce to me is for things that have some absorbative qualities.
But what if it's like scrambled? Like, scrambled egg doesn't have its own sauce.
Fine point. But why do we need sauce?
Because why else are you gonna fucking eat it? It's like...
Why else are you going to eat it? 'Cause eggs are the best food.
I've been off the egg
best.
game for a long time. I've only started eating eggs within the last year. And eggs are the best fucking food out there.
Eggs are the best food.
They are.
Deliciousness to health ratio off the charts with this food. Eggs are delicious, and like if you're trying to be healthy, it slots right in.
But what does like a good egg look like to you? Like, do you put like chili flakes on there?
Chili flakes, pepper, and that's pretty much it.
Loads of ketchup.
See, no, I'm like anti-ketchup. I think ketchup.
So you're agreeing with Jim now?
No, Jamie's right. This isn't this isn't opinion. This isn't like fucking subjective. This is Jamie's right. Quite correct. 100% true. There's no fucking way to get around it.
But like, fucking everyone has fucking eggs and sauce. The hell are you talking about?
No, but surely it depends on the type of egg.
Poached egg. No.
Poached egg, no sauce.
No sauce.
Fried egg, no sauce.
No sauce.
Boiled egg, no sauce.
No sauce. Scrambled egg.
Scrambled egg.
Maybe a bit of chili sauce.
But
So you can't even stay consistent
it's
within
not,
your own bounds.
No, you're chatting shit. If it's not a question of no sauce, it's a question of, is ketchup the right sauce? 9 times out of 10, no.
See, here's the thing.
Different question.
Whenever I see anyone eat eggs, fried eggs, poached eggs, it's not ketchup, it's brown sauce is what I see.
Yeah, I would prefer brown sauce, but if it's fried, I want it as is.
Okay.
If it's poached, I want
pedantic.
it as is.
I was taking the tomato ketchup thing as not always. I don't always specifically every time want tomato ketchup. Like just some kind of sauce, like spicy sauce. I tend to go for.
Eggs and spice go really well.
Mm-hmm.
But ketchup just doesn't seem right with egg.
Nah, it's fine.
I think ketchup is too powerful. It overpowers the egg taste, and you want the egg taste.
The jarlings would be.
That is an aspect. It's like dipping pizza in ketchup as well.
Which is only acceptable when you're buying the cheapest pizzas and they don't have enough tomato flavour.
No, it's just stuff like, I'm fine. I don't think you're a dickhead if you squirt ketchup all over your fried egg. But I never want to do that. I think it's wrong, and morally I can't stand by and let myself do things like that.
Fair enough. What's your Twitter at again if people want to get in contact?
At what's your
Premium boy?
At Premium Boy.
Let's do this penultimate one here from James House. Has Jim the Jack White follower seen the announcement of 2 new Jack White albums for next year? Thoughts? Any hopes / expectations yet based on the newest song he dropped?
2?
Yeah, according to this commenter.
I assumed that there was 1 coming.
Yeah, he's doing the
Go on.
Yeah, he's doing the soundtrack to fucking the new Marvel one.
What, Eternals?
Eternals 2 when that comes out next year.
I thought his latest song was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like it as well.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Already in a COD trailer, as you tell me.
Yeah, just immediately.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the day after I heard that song. It's in a COD trailer.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that sort of essence.
Yeah.
I'm obviously excited, but I don't know how to feel about 2 albums in the same year.
Yeah, hopefully they're a bit shorter or something.
Yeah.
Seems a bit stuck.
It's just weird. He didn't have it was 2-3 years ago when Boarding House Reach came out?
Maybe one of them's an anti-vax album.
Yeah, that is what we need from Jack White. We need his opinions on the vaccine and if COVID actually existed. Let us know, Jack White.
We got one more here, boys. The Big Large says this. On the subject of who still watches Family Guy, I think it's all boomers. I work with several boomery as fuck men, and all of them have at one time or another stated their love for Family Guy. One even stating he thinks it's the best cartoon of this generation.
Damn, where is he on phone fucking hand?
This might be true. Because the truth is, our father fucking loves Family Guy to this day.
Yeah, and there was that fucked up post on the subreddit.
Which one?
Well, I'm not going to talk about it because they said I wasn't gonna. There was like a funny Family Guy post. We're getting some funny anecdotes about Family Guy fans.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it is kind of a boomer thing. I think they're right.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's not strictly only boomers, but yeah.
You're so read.
Huh?
The fuck did you fucking say?
Nothing.
What did you say?
Nothing.
I think that's it then. When James is whispering dodgy things into the mic, you know it's done. It's game over. Come on, James, take us away.
Sing us a song.
No. Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, ladies and gentlemen.
And welcome to the first 6-hour episode of the Jar Media Podcast, episode 250G.
It's the first 250-hour-long episode.
How many days is that?
2, 4, so 10. It's like...
2, 4, 10.
It's just like 10 and a half days. If that.
10 and a half days, that's not even hard.
Well, yeah, that's 252 actually. So take 2 away and you've got 250.
Sound like a third of a month.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Can we finally do that Piss-a-Dick roleplay and just decipher what the Piss-a-Dick dance is?
There's only one Piss-a-Dick dance and you should know.
Yeah, you should know.
James didn't even know that it existed.
What, Piss-a-Dick?
No, I knew the Piss-a-Dick dance existed. Nothing else. Because
No,
you
James
clearly
didn't
did
actually
that.
know what Piss-a-Dick fucking
You clearly
was.
just did it behind my back.
What do you mean, behind your back? Why do you phrase it that way?
Because they're traitors. They're traitors. They do stuff behind my back all the time. Like order food. Sort their own food out.
What was it that James... He didn't know, like, core Piss-a-Dick facts.
James doesn't know what Piss-a-Dick is.
He doesn't even know.
No, we can't say this. James is Piss-a-Dick.
I know what the Piss-a-Dick dance is. That's it. That's all I know.